10 actors who saved their career with one performance. In the unpredictable world of Hollywood, careers can rise and fall in the blink of an eye. Many actors have faced moments when their future in the industry seemed uncertain, only to find redemption through a single standout performance. These performances not only revived their careers, but often redefined their legacies, showcasing their true talent and securing their place in cinematic history. This article delves into the stories of actors who, against all odds, saved their careers with one unforgettable role, proving that in show business, a second chance can be just one performance away. Ryan Reynolds / Deadpool. Deadpool is a 2016 film. Ryan Reynolds was subjected to a constant stream of box office failures in the early 2010s, despite the fact that he is widely considered to be one of the most likable movie performers in the industry. He'll gladly tell you today that Green Lantern, which was released in 2011, was not even close to being the crowd pleaser that DC had in mind for their groundbreaking Heroes debut feature film. We were aware that he was the perfect choice for the role of the Merc with a Mouth. Yet the studio's failed attempt to portray the character in X-Men Origins Wolverine did not inspire confidence. Thankfully, he was able to have the comics-based solo picture that they had been fantasizing about in 2016, and it did not live up to our expectations. Regardless of whether or not the individual whose name rhymes with Shmi and Reynolds is the one who shared the test footage that started the ball moving, we simply had to express our gratitude to them. Keanu Reeves / John Wick. 2014's John Wick film. As demonstrated by the first Matrix film, we have known for a very long time that Keanu Reeves is capable of delivering a badass performance on screen. However, the negative reaction that the two sequels to that film received, as well as subsequent failures such as The Day the Earth Stood Still and 47 Ronin, indicated that possibly the action star's greatest days were behind him. This sentiment was conveyed in the memes that were referred to as Sad Keanu. Despite the fact that we never considered him to be a formidable actor, devoted followers of his wished that he would be cast in the role that would be most suitable for him. Since the John Wick films gradually went from being sleeper blockbusters to blockbuster sensations, it is clear that someone was paying attention to their development. In point of fact, Reeves' mania has progressed to such a degree that a Matrix 4 has gone from being a remote possibility to being a foregone conclusion. Michael Keaton / Regan Thompson, the 2014 film Birdman. Folks were suspicious of Keaton's casting as the Caped Crusader in Tim Burton's Batman movie back in the day. Nevertheless, many of those folks were hushed when they saw him walk out on the big screen wearing the cape and cowl. Following the completion of a single installment, Keaton decided to withdraw from the franchise, which had deteriorated dramatically during the time that Keaton was working on Jack Frost. We are confident that the meta-commentary on Keaton's career that was introduced in the film Birdman in 2014 was too wonderful to pass up. Keaton was relatively silent for the majority of the 2000s. Keaton was nominated for an Academy Award as a result of the film's critical acclaim, which ultimately was awarded the title of Best Picture. Since that time, Keaton has been in a number of major motion pictures, in addition to playing the role of Vulture, another bird-themed character in a superhero film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Matthew McConaughey / Ron Woodroof. Dallas Buyers Club appeared in 2013. Throughout a significant portion of his career, Matthew McConaughey was subjected to criticism for his production of a multitude of uninspired romantic comedies, ranging from Failure to Launch to Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. Then a phenomenon known as the McConaissance took place, which began slowly with films such as The Lincoln Lawyer and Mud, which therefore made it possible for McConaughey to demonstrate his acting abilities in a significant manner. His career reached its pinnacle in 2013 when he gave a performance in Dallas Buyers Club that was nothing short of revolutionary. As a result, he received a multitude of awards from critics, culminating in an Academy Award for Best Actor. At this point in time, we are living in a world where the fact that Matthew McConaughey is appearing in important films such as Interstellar and True Detective is not seen to be a joke, but rather a good marketing tactic, where we can only state, place the phrase, all right, here. Mickey Rourke / Marv. Sin City was released in 2005. Despite the fact that one may argue that Mickey Rourke's performance in the film The Wrestler, which was nominated for an Academy Award in 2008, was the one that brought him back into the winner's circle, we maintain that it was Frank Miller's Sin City in 2005 that brought him back into the winner's circle. His character Marv is a hard-hitting monster who is out for revenge and wants to clear his name for the death of his sweetheart. He plays this role in the neo-noir thriller. Although there are a lot of memorable roles in the ensemble film, his was particularly memorable because he assumed the tough guy demeanor that we would associate with him from that point forward. It was then that he joined a superhero movie in Iron Man 2, and he even reprised his part as Marv in the film Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, which was released in 2014. This is a classic example of a professional resurgence. Robert Pattinson / Connie Nicholas. An excellent time, 17. During a significant portion of his early career, Robert Pattinson was so closely associated with the Twilight saga that it was impossible to mention him without someone groaning in response. In spite of the fact that many people justify his role by pointing to inadequate source information, Pattinson spent the better part of 5 years attempting to clear his name. After receiving consistently good reviews for a number of lesser-known independent films, it seemed inevitable that one of them would propel him to the top of the charts, and that one occurred in 2017 with the release of Good Time. Throughout the entirety of New York City, Pattinson delivered a commandingly manic performance as a criminal who was attempting to evade capture. In addition to The Lighthouse, this provided Pattinson with the opportunity to pursue virtually any endeavor he desired, and it appears that his goal is to become the next Batman to appear on screen. What's that role all about again? Drew Barrymore / Casey Becker, 1996 film Scream. When Drew Barrymore was a child actress, she was known for a long time as America's sweetheart. However, during her teenage years, she saw a decline in popularity owing to troubles that were linked to her troubled upbringing. When Scream was released in 1996, people were curious to see what she would accomplish in her 20s as the star of a meta-satirical slasher film. These folks were eager to see what she would do. The most popular character in the film was eliminated in the very first scene, which meant that they were in for a very unpleasant surprise. There was no question that it was a little role, but wow, was it the surprising and unforgettable one she had been searching for. After that, she went on to have a successful career as a leading lady in romantic comedies, appearing in films such as The Wedding Singer and Never Been Kissed. It is sufficient to state that Drew continues to make us both scream. Marlon Brando / Vito Corleone. The Godfather was released in 1972. Brando's early performances in films such as A Streetcar Named Desire and On the Waterfront, for which he was awarded an Academy Award in 1955, made it abundantly clear to everyone that he was a formidable performer from the very beginning. Brando, on the other hand, became increasingly skeptical about the art during the 1960s. This was due to the fact that he signed with an atypical multi-picture company, which resulted in a succession of disappointing failures. In spite of the fact that he was notorious for being tough to collaborate with, Brando was able to transcend all objections in 1972 when he played the role of Mafia Don Vito Corleone in the film The Godfather. Brando once again commanded the screen, receiving his second Academy Award. He later demonstrated that some of his best work was still to come with Apocalypse Now, but it would be best if The Island of Dr. Moreau was not discussed at all. John Travolta / Vincent Vega. The 1994 film Pulp Fiction. Back in the 1970s, John Travolta was able to achieve a string of success with the films Saturday Night Fever and Grease. He was able to do no wrong. The decade of the 1980s, on the other hand, was not so good to him, since his sequel to the previous film, Staying Alive, was criticized by critics. In the film Pulp Fiction, which was released in 1994, Quentin Tarantino began his career by reviving the careers of past actors and actresses. However, it was John Travolta's performance as the eponymously named Vincent Vega that marked the beginning of his career. Given the circumstances, it is quite unlikely that we would have been able to witness another of his fan-favorite performances in Face / Off. Although it is true that Travolta's reputation would be tarnished once again in the year 2000 with the release of Battlefield Earth, a film from which he has never fully recovered, this does not diminish the significance of this entry. Robert Downey Jr. / Tony Stark, 2008 film Iron Man. Is it possible that it may have been someone else? Between the late 1990s and the early 2000s, Robert Downey Jr. struggled with a number of different drug addictions, which is now common information. This phase of his life was marked by a serious dark period. This had a significant impact on his career, and despite the fact that he had lately maintained his sobriety, people showed genuine surprise when he was cast in the role of Iron Man in Marvel's Avengers. All of the misgivings vanished when the movie was released, and Downey rode a wave of critical adulation as the star of one of the best superhero pictures in the history of the film industry. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, which employed Downey for an extra 11 years and made him one of the highest-paid stars on the globe, was the result of this. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is the movie franchise that currently holds the record for the highest-grossing film. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.